Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have with me my Avengers Assemble moment for IGDC. I have some amazing guests over here and we are here to give you a small introduction about IP Connect that happens at IGDC. So before we get started, can we have a quick introduction about each one of us and then we'll dive into the topic. So Dayanidhi sir, can we start with you?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Dayanidhi. I have been associated with IGDC and IP Connect for quite a few years now. Currently, I am working as the general manager of Electronic Arts India, looking after the mobile business.
Awesome. Imtiaz?
Hey, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Imtiaz Hussain. I have been into gaming industry for a decade and a half now. Co-founded a gaming studio, working on something new at this moment. But I've been associated for IGTC for quite some time, and IP Connect is quite close to my heart and everyone who is working here. Being a founder, I can understand the trouble someone has to go as a founder. So we really want to see how we can support. So I'll stop there. Yeah.
Awesome. Ravi?
Hi everyone, this is very good experience for me. Glad to talk to you, Nikhil, and the whole team here. IP Connect, I've been associated with it for almost a decade now, and I've been running IP Connect for about 7-8 years now. Very passionate to help startups. I'm sure Imtiaz and Daya will also add a lot more points, but fundamentally, this is one of the most democratic program out there across the world. Whether you look at GDC or Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, anyway, nowhere has there been a founder-led volunteer team helping startups proactively, pro bono, right? So as we go, we'll talk more, but fundamentally super excited about IP Connect, super excited to talk to 200, 300 startups every year and help them connect with good international publishers and investors.
Awesome. Sucharta?
Hello everyone, this is Suchayata from IGDC. I've been working with IGDC since like 3 years and starting with Expo, and I've been into Investor Publisher Connect and working with all these amazing mentors. So yeah, nice to work with them.
So I've been in the gaming industry for 15 years now. Started off my career actually working under Imtiaz a while back at Purple Talk. And then I had a small startup called Ninetales where we were, this was in 2014-15 where we were trying to build a few PC games and then we had to pivot to some other stuff. But post that I joined a company called Pole to Win, where I was the VP of product there for 5 years. And then now I started a PC and console publishing house called 1312 Interactive. Yeah, and that's about me, and our first games are going to come out at the end of this year.
Awesome. And guys, so those of you who are not aware of what IGDC is, and if you are a game developer or aspiring developer, then I don't know what you guys are doing. Just go ahead and visit indiagdc.com. IGDC is not only India's but South Asia's largest game developer conference. It happens usually in the month of November, and for the last 10 years or so, it was happening in Hyderabad. Now the event is going to happen in Chennai on from 5th to 7th of November. So make sure you're registering for the event. And today with this video, we are doing a small introduction about IP Connect. So let's just try to understand what the initiative is, and how can one participate, and how can one go ahead and pitch their startup. So Daya sir, can we start with you?
Sure. Yeah, in fact, having been in the gaming industry and, living the life of founder of a startup, I can very well empathize with this entire community. And that is when, I could relate to the journey founders go through, and, strong need for them to get connected with both the publishers and VCs who are critical for this journey, and that's the key piece in the puzzle. So I was really happy that we at IGDC could facilitate this. We tried multiple things in terms of bringing the key stakeholders together, the publishers and investors on one side, and the startups founders and leaders on the other side. So it's been going really well, and we are really happy to see this community growing and more people joining and getting benefited by this very ambitious program of IGDC.
Awesome. Now, when it comes to IP Connect, the fundamental doubt that everyone has is how does one apply to this? Is there any eligibility criteria? So, any one of you guys want to chime in on this part?
Yeah. So, I can go. So, I don't. There's no specific eligibility criteria. I think anyone can connect. The only thing we probably request for them is to at least have like a base concept and have or an idea of the type of product that they want to build or type of game that they want to build. Right? It can be like any platform, any genre, any type of game, and we'll try to figure out a way to support them and get them whatever support they need, right? Let it be in regards to like funding, or if it's like a grant, or if it's just like mentorship or anything else, right? All of us are generally very open to support them with whatever they need. But there's
Yeah.
no specific criteria for them to apply.
Okay. And, this program has been going on for the last decade or so. Does anyone want to share any interesting stories or any success stories that have came out of IP Connect?
Yeah. So Nikhil, the journey's been about 8 years now. The first year was literally 20 investors meeting 20 startups, about 400 speed dating and stuff. Over a period, the speed dating started focusing into cabin level closed door meetings as well. So, what we mean by the closed door meetings are one on one meetings where the investor has already showcased or shortlisted this particular company and has shown interest that they want to have a serious conversation about funding or publishing deal with the company. So, those are the ones which give great results. So Sucharita might throw some numbers a little later, but let's imagine 20 investors and publishers meeting 8 studios each, which is probably 160 meetings a day, 480 meetings over 3 days. Those 480 evolve into at least 100 conversions over the rest of the year. So,
Wow.
so while we can't say something is signed on then and there, as you know, gaming is a little more complicated than that. Even if someone shows interest, it takes 6 to 8 months to just get the investment or sign the publishing deal. But very very fruitful conversations have happened. I can just tell from my own experience of the 40-45 investors I met between 2018 to 2022, we had 3 people show interest and give us term sheets at IGDC. We actually picked one, very friendly investors and stuff. So lots of companies give us credit for having met the investors or the right publishers for the first time.
Understood. So, Charity, do you want to add something to that?
So, like what I have seen from 2021 is like we used to get very less applications like studios wise. There are very few gaming studios. Like we got around in 2021 40 to 50 applications, but massively that has been increasing from year on year. Like 2022, we have seen 100 plus startups applying, and later on 23, there were around 170 applications. And coming to last year, it was like 250 plus applications. And interesting fact is like we have seen a growth of PC and console. The ones who are developing on PC and console, those type of studios have been increasing a lot. And even the investors wise, there has been growth from 30 in the 2021 to right from I mean in the 2024 there has been 79 investor publishers, and out of which we have around 14 international guys.
So what we noticed is that some of the startup founders are very passionate gamers and haven't gone through the entrepreneurial journey, and then there are really really important artifacts that are needed, preparations that are needed. So when we realized this, when we went through the cohort of startup founders, we thought we have to actually start right from training them, running a master class for preparing a pitch deck, for instance. So we brought in some experts who could help these aspiring co-founders or entrepreneurs to even develop a pitch deck and even work on the legal documentation that is needed, compliance to be met, and so on. So these are all like very important steps. Only when all these boxes are checked, any investor would come forward to invest. So we wanted to make sure that we are helping and handholding, the startup community, even in filling those gaps, and take them very well prepared to the investors, so that there is no time wasted and they are eligible, and the investors can really take a decision based on the merit and quality of the idea and where they are in their journey. So that those are some of the things that we tried, and we believe they are really working well for our community.
I'll add a couple of
Yeah.
points around, in general, investor publisher connect and briefly. So as you know that India GDC by itself is a very non-profit, and everyone, what we call it as by the industry for the industry, conference. And I don't think there is any conference as big as India GDC, which is driven by primarily volunteers of the industry. Like last year we had 40 plus volunteers coming in, having their day-to-day jobs, but they still contribute time here and so on. And everyone picks up each of the responsibility, any of the responsibility that they like to do with. Like in this case, some of us that you see on the screen are primarily focusing on investor publisher connect, and we are quite excited about it. The very reason is that most of us were founders ourselves, and we understand the challenges someone has to go through being a founder, talking to investors. Getting access to the investor itself is such a huge task and big task, right? So that is where we really want to facilitate and help all this founders to, hey, we have this bunch of guys who are interested, the investors who are specifically looking at the gaming deals and do the matchmaking and identifying the right set of studios based on the thesis of the the fund and the investor, and make those matches. That said, what is interesting in the last few years is that the international funds, they are quite excited about India as a market too, right? Not just the market, but also from the developer ecosystem. They are interested to know that who are the studios who are building some really kick-ass content for them, for not just for India, but also for global audiences, right? And so we have been successful in getting some international funds from last 2-3 years, and we have repeated attendees from that side of things. So this talks a lot about how things are changing in the developer ecosystem, and IP Connect gives that discovery platform, is what I could say, for all these publishers and investors and studios to find the right partners. So
Yeah, I think that's a great summary of the entire event, which actually brings me to my next question: is what have been some of the publishers and investors in attendance? Can you shed light on a few big names that have participated in the past, and some of them who might actually be seen over here in the current event?
Last year, from past few years, we had Play Ventures, Courtside Ventures, Convoy, Annapurna Interactive, Boombit. So they have, few of the all these guys have come in, and even India's also have some more names to add on.
from the investor standpoint, we have VCs across the spectrum. To begin with, we have dedicated gaming funds like Camera VC and Lumikai, and also folks like Ventana, and then Nazara has their own investment arm. They participate. At the same time, we also have international VCs who are coming in, like Convoy, Makers Fund, Play Ventures, who are dedicated gaming and interactive media funds. Then mainstream funds from India like Matrix, Axel, Elevation Capital, who have thesis around gaming, and early stage funds like All In Capital, Succeed, who also have thesis around gaming. So they all participate at, and like to meet startups who are doing some kick-ass stuff into the gaming. And but from the publisher standpoint, Ravi might like to comment.
Yeah, and then from a publishing perspective, this year we feel like, we're trying to get in a lot more international people as well for a PC console perspective. So, the Neon Doctrine is coming, for example. Then we've also gotten Neon Doctrine on board to help us from an international perspective, so they can bring in more international people, because some of the games that are getting built in India, the quality has gone up significantly, right? So it's not more like, hey, I'm building this game maybe for a small user base in India, but it's like building games in India and taking them to the world and try to build global successes, right?
Yeah.
So getting these international publishers and giving them the access to these games as well will be it's something I feel like is what will be very helpful for all the developers here now.
Awesome. And this kind of, I mean, I think we've touched base upon all the points. I have just one last question from my side about IP Connect is what is the general flow? How does one apply? Where is the website hosted? And then when this actually happens on ground at IGDC, what's the entire flow of the event look like for IP Connect?
I think Sucharita's best
Yeah.
because she's super process oriented and detailed.
So, like anyone, any startup who is looking to apply for it, they have a form on the website. The studios who want to look in for investors or publishers, they can just fill in with a valid pitch deck, and based on that, we do screening. The mentors over here on the screen, they do the screening, and if any changes or any updates they can do, like they should be presentable in front of investors, right? So we organize some master classes for them, and based on that we share the decks according to the theses of the investors, and the interested investors will get back with the interested studios which they want to have meetings. For them, we schedule one-on-one closed-door meetings at the IGTC. And some of the studios who are not shortlisted, but still they want to meet investors, right? So for them, they can be part of this speed dating sessions, which will be happening at the IGTC.
Understood. Understood.
Just the basic process we'll be going through.
Okay. So, guys, for those of you interested in participating in IP Connect, I will leave all the links in the description. And also, if you're looking at this as an investor or a publisher, I leave the link in the description, so you can also sign up over there. I think there is an area wherein they can apply for as an investor and publisher as well, right?
Yes.
I would like to add an extra section. Nikhil, maybe you can edit it in.
Sure.
I just wanted to give the flow from a founder's perspective to help them understand how easy the whole IP Connect flow is, right? So we typically look at founders in three ways. They are the first category who are just coming to learn, to explore, to understand what is the market thinking of, right? So for them, the speed dating is the ideal section because they'll meet 10 to 20 investors and publishers. They'll get feedback on their games. They'll know what these investors and publishers would like to take them seriously,
Yeah.
right? Which is missing in the industry. Most people, more than 400, 500 startups are getting formed every year nowadays. So most people have no clue what the investors or publishers really want. So at least they get the basic yarn. So what are the metrics that investors look for? What are the metrics that publishers look for and stuff?
Yeah.
Then there is the second level meetings, which are closed door, like I was saying, the cabin level meetings. Here the founders are very clear. They have a good pitch deck. They're pitching for 250K, 500K, million, or whatever the number is. They have justified that with valuation, with revenues, with some stats, with some metrics. So this is not speed level, dating level. But the only condition IP Connect puts, like Sucharita was mentioning earlier, is these decks are shared with the investors, and the investors shortlist whom they want to meet. So founders should not be disappointed if their deck is not picked, because that is when that is real feedback from the market that the deck is not standing out, something is missing or the story is missing. And
Right.
definitely this is not the time for valuation based startups who are just talking of users or something. They have to talk of proper metrics like revenues, analytics and stuff,
Yeah.
so that they can show that their game can stand out provided the investor supports them. Now there is the third level, which is what is a little more deal oriented, where startups are almost sorted financially through funds or funding and stuff, and they want more people to join the round, or they want investors to lead the round. So they are very specific, in which case they probably meet 3 to 5 people. That's all. They're coming with a very targeted focus. So at that point, they should be very clear when they're talking to Sucheta or one of us that, hey, we are at this so and so stage. We're looking at 3 million. We already got 2 million commitments from the market. We're just looking for the last 1 million. This is our revenues. This is our burn rate. They're very clear. They're sorted. So when such clear, precise pictures come, or that pitch comes, it's very easy for us to match make with funds who are looking for exact same thing. Because on the flip side, there will be funds which will say, hey, we won't be leading. We're happy to join other rounds. Or we'll be leading with 1 to 2 million rounds. So
Yeah.
when investors are that clear, startups are that clear, that's the third level meetings. Believe me, a lot of them get converted within 6 months, provided they are that clear. So the from the investor standpoint or publisher standpoint, like Sucheta mentioned, they have to fill the forms. We'll get an idea of what they're looking for, and then we'll help identify right starters for them to meet. On the flip side, this is the best opportunity for founders to get their act right, to get their story right. If they're very early stage, get it validated in the first place, whether they're even thinking straight or is it some like wild goose chase that they're going after, right?
Yeah.
So it's very clear from a founder standpoint as well. That's the only thing I wanted to add.
Awesome.
And regarding the question about how investors and publishers, or what is the process for this, when they're filling up the form, they have to be very clear, concise, and precise. Because if an investor says I can invest any amount up to $10 million, there are 300 startups. Obviously, they don't have the time to make 300 startups, and there's no point of matchmaking them with 300 startups. For us to do a good job, if they say, hey, our comfort range is 250K to 500K deals, or our comfort range is Series B and above, where we put in more than 2 million or more than 5 million, then we can give them the decks that they are looking for. So it all starts with the pitch that they are planning to give the startup. That is through the forms that they're filling up.
Yeah.
And the links, like you said, will be filled up very soon. Yeah.
Awesome. Hope more and more developers come up to IGDC and join this an amazing initiative. With that, thank you so much for joining in and sharing all this insightful information. Guys, all the links are in the description. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're finding my channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on my next videos. My name is Nikhil Malkar. I'm a game developer by profession, and on my YouTube channel, I make videos around games and game development. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next one. Until then, take care.